So this video is aimed at improving glute strength. So the glutes are the biggest muscle in the body and they're really important in the golf swing, not just for kind of protecting the lower back, but also creating hip stability, so being able to stabilise the pelvis and the hips through the swing. But also they're a really good source of power in terms of developing and producing extension through the downswing. Okay, so they play quite an important role in the golf swing and they can obviously help improve performance. So if you feel that your glutes are a little bit weak, you might spend too much time sat down on them and less time using them, then try these 5 exercises at home. You don't need any fancy equipment, just a couple of bands, and they'll definitely help improve your golf performance. So this first exercise is a single leg glute bridge, so a really good way to develop glute strength and also stability. Okay, so you're going to need a bench or a sofa or a chair, something just to elevate your back onto. Okay, so I'm just using a box here, make sure it's something nice and soft. What you're going to do is you're just going to rest your back onto the box and then you're just going to raise up into a bridge. Okay, so this is a normal bridge position. We've got the pelvis tucked under, the glutes are engaged, we're getting a nice stretch here through the front of the hip flexors and the pelvis is nice and neutral, okay, so no arching through the back, okay. And then from here we're just going to bring one knee up, okay. So try and keep that knee as bent as you can and then you're just going to lower down and then drive up through that glute. So lower down and then push up. Okay, so we're just working that left leg. Show you the other side, glutes on, knees bent, working this glute here, lower down and then drive up and squeeze out at the top, lower down and squeeze out at the top. Okay, so you want to make sure you're getting full range through that exercise. Start with about 8 to 10 on each side and just build up them reps as you get stronger. So this next exercise is a great one, again for helping to develop strength of the glutes. You just got to be careful with this one that you don't overextend through the back, okay? So this is a really good one to do kind of on a sofa or a chair, something you can just kind of lay on and hang your legs off at home. So like I say, a sofa or even a bed. And what you're going to do is you're just going to lie down onto the bench or the sofa and just make sure that your legs are just hanging off, okay? And then what you're going to do, just make sure you've got enough, is kind of bring the feet together, take the knees out, and then you're just going to lift up through the glutes. So kind of open up the knees, keep the feet together, squeeze the glutes at the top there, so I'm feeling it here as opposed to here, and then drop back down. So down, make sure you're in a comfortable position, squeeze them glutes out, keep them knees out. So we've got some external rotation through the hip, back down, squeeze up, squeeze through the glutes. Might be a little bit extension through the lower back, but you definitely don't want to feel it in that area. Squeeze out and back down. Okay, so just focusing on squeezing through the glutes, getting that hip extension. Again, start with a good number of repetitions, maybe about 10 to begin with, and just build that up and try and hold that squeeze for a little bit longer as you start to get a bit stronger. So this exercise, you're just going to need a mini band, so you can pick up a pack of these, you can pick up a pack of 4 from Net World Sports, £4.99, and you get 4 different resistances. Okay, I am actually going to use some sliders in this video, but if you have a nice smooth floor, so like tiling or lino, anything like that, you can actually use a tea towel or even a piece of paper, just anything to glide across. A kind of wooden floor is probably your best bet. So you don't have to invest in these, but again, you can pick these up online for under £10, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this band and I'm going to just wrap it around my feet. So just around the ankle. And again, you can just increase the tension depending how strong you are, start quite light. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to pop our feet onto these gliders or onto your towels. And to be fair, you probably only need one to begin with. I'll just pop my feet on both. We're going to go down to our forearms into a plank position. So I want to make sure that you're in this really good plank position, tilt the pelvis under, glutes are engaged. Okay, we've got this nice flat back, nice and strong through the shoulders. And then all I'm going to do is just take one leg away and bring it back in. If you don't have the glider, you can just take it away without it. You just get a nice, more smooth motion. Okay, and just maintaining that position, hold that plank, take the leg away, and bring it back in. Working against that resistance. Take the leg away and bring it back in. Okay, so there's a lot going on in that exercise. We're obviously working what we call the anterior core, the front muscles of the body. Also you're using your glutes, and also we're using the side of the glutes and the hip to take that leg away. So there's a lot going on in the exercise, really helping to improve your glute strength. Again, work 8 to 10 repetitions on each side and just increase the resistance band as you get stronger. This one's another kind of bridge type exercise. This time you're going to use a band, okay, and you're just going to pop that just around your feet, okay. We're going to get into a bridge position again, elevating our upper body onto a box or a chair, and we're just going to start in this bridge position, okay. So we're really working the glutes, tilting the pelvis under, a little squeeze there, just to keep them hips in that extended position. The extension isn't coming from arching the back and pushing through here, it's coming through the glutes and just squeezing them and driving up, okay. So we're just going to get into a position, okay, nice and stable on the shoulder blades. Make sure you're not putting too much pressure onto the elbows, and then you're just going to tuck one knee in while you're squeezing the other glute, okay. So tuck one knee in, squeeze that glute. So we're trying to keep the pelvis nice and level, okay. We're just isolating one glute at a time, but what we're also doing is we're just working the front of this hip as we tuck the band in, and trying to work on keeping that pelvis and that hip nice and stable and not kind of rocking, okay. So maintain that position, pull and hold, 3, 2, 1, back down, and just keep repeating on each side, filling the weight through the glute, maybe a little bit into the hamstring as well, okay. Again, start with 8 to 10 reps on each side. As it gets a little bit easier, increase the resistance on your band, or just increase the repetition. So this final exercise is a little bit different, okay. I am going to be using a long band with it, so you don't have to have a band, okay. The band just makes it a little bit easier to get a little bit more range of motion. The only thing that you really need is something just to kind of lodge your feet under, so you can either get someone to hold onto your feet just to kind of give you that stability, or if you just pop your feet onto kind of like a sofa or something that's stable, that's going to kind of give you a little bit of leverage, okay. So I'm only using the band just to allow myself to get a little bit lower. If you don't have the band, just do it without. You'll find that obviously you can't go as low. If you do have a band, then obviously it will assist, okay. So you want to kind of face away from whatever you're using to kind of leverage your feet under. So if it's like a sofa, you're just going to stick your toes under that sofa, and it's kind of giving you that little bit of grip. And as I say, you can also ask someone to hold on to your legs for you, okay. So what you're going to do is you're just going to pop this band across your chest if you have the band. If you don't have the band, absolutely fine. So what's really important is we get ourselves into a really good starting position. So if you look at my body, I'm nice and straight, my glutes are on, so a little squeeze of the glutes extending through here. This band is just going to allow me to get a little bit lower, okay. So if you don't have the band, you might find you can only get so far and then come back up. But what we're trying to do is lower the body but maintain this extended position at the hip, okay. So you're going to feel it in the glutes but also into the hamstrings as well. Really good way to kind of improve glute and hamstring strength, and really good at kind of preventing hamstring injuries, okay, which are quite common among obviously golfers. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lower as far as you can. As you can see with this band, it's just assisting me so I can get a little bit lower, and it's giving me that support. Hold that position and then come back up. Make sure you're not kind of like leading through here. We've got the straight line, knee up toward the shoulder, extend, keep them feet tucked under, that little bit of support. Feel that into the glutes, into the hamstring, and pull back up, okay. Like I say, if you haven't got the band, you probably find you can't go as low. Just go to kind of like that biting point that you can control that position, and then pull back up, okay. So that's quite a challenging one to begin with. What you're wanting to be doing there is aiming to get as low as possible, and just building up that control and that strength while you maintain that position. I would start with lowish reps to begin with, so kind of 6 to begin with. You might find that you get a little bit of muscle soreness, especially in the back of them hamstrings to begin with. But once you kind of find a little bit of a routine with the exercise, it's one of the best exercises you can do to help strengthen the glutes and the hamstrings, and also reduce injury in that area. So have a go at them 5 exercises, increase the repetitions, increase the resistance in the band as you progress. If you're looking for anything a little bit more specific, now coming up to golf season, if you check out our website, dynamic-golf.co.uk, you'll find we've got some stability online programs that you can purchase there. Or if you're looking for something a little bit more specific, you can book a free 30-minute phone consultation so we can have a chat about your requirements and how hopefully we can help you improve your golf performance and your physical abilities. Okay, so check out the website. If you've got any comments, just leave them at the bottom of here. Also put the link on there to the bands that I've used in these videos. Give them a go and hopefully it'll help you improve